In this video, we're going to look at the area and perimeter of some 2D shapes. So we'll start off with the most basic ones, which are squares and rectangles. Now, finding the area and perimeter of rectangles is very easy. So for the area, all you have to do is multiply your length by your width. So for this one, I'm going to do 7 times 10, and that will be 70 centimeters squared. So for area, it'll always be your unit squared. Now for perimeter, that's the length around the shape. And to find that, you simply add up all the sides. In a square, all the sides will be the same length. But in a rectangle then, the opposite sides are the same length. So I'll also have a 7 here, 7 centimeters, and then 10 centimeters here. So for the perimeter, I'm going to write it as P. That's equal to 10 plus 10 plus 7 plus 7, and that then will be equal to 34 centimeters. No squared for perimeter because it's just the length you're finding, so just write it with your unit. Okay, so let's have a look at another one here. So here we need to calculate the area and perimeter of the following. So here we have a compound shape, but again we're just using rectangles. So the first thing we need to do in this question is split it up. So I'm going to draw a line here. So now, I know that I have a 5 here, so then the other side will also be a 5. Then, I know I'm going to have a 3 here because the total length I can see is 9. And I have 6 here. So that means the length of that blue line there that I drew has to be 3 because it has to add up to 9. So now for my area, I can do 3 times 5 to get the area of this section, which would be 15. And then for the other region, so remember the total length is 9, and I know that the bottom part is 5, so it means the top part must be 4, because 4 plus 5 is 9. So for this one, I'm going to have 4 times 9, which is 36. So then I'll do 36 plus 15, and that will be 51 centimeters squared. That's my area now. Now for perimeter, I need to add up all the outside of the shape. So I'm missing one length on the side here, so that will be another 4, because seeing as I have a 4 on the left, I have to have a 4 then on the right. So for perimeter, I'll have 9 plus 4 plus 6 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 4. And that is 36 centimeters. Again, remember, no squared for perimeter. Okay, let's have a look at triangles now. So let's say we had a rectangle. That was 10 centimeters by 2 centimeters. And if we had to find the area of that, I'd have 10 times 2, which would be 20 centimeters squared. Now, let's say I halved this by drawing a diagonal. And I had to find the area of this shaded region here, that triangle. I can see that that's half the rectangle. So then that would be 20 divided by 2, which should be equal to 10 centimeters squared for the shaded part. So from that, I can see where the formula for a triangle comes from. Because the formula for a triangle is the base times height divided by 2. Basically the area of a rectangle divided by 2. So the formula is up here at the top. So base times height divided by 2. Or else I could use half times the base times the height. It's the exact same formula, just written in a different way. Now, you need to be careful as well to ignore the slanted height in these questions. Like in the question here, I have a base of 12. On the left I have an 8, on the right I have a 9, and then in the middle I have a 5. So remember, it's always your vertical height is what you use. Okay, the perpendicular height is the only height you need to find the area of a triangle. So you have to ignore the slanted height. So in this question, I'm going to ignore the 8 and the 9. So it's just 12 and 5. So I'll have 12 times 5 divided by 2. So 60 over 2. And that'll be 30 meters squared now. Because remember, area is always your unit squared. Okay, in this question now, again we have a compound shape. So like the other one we did of this type, we need to split it up. So I'm going to draw a line here. So then if I have a 3 on the left, then I have to have a 3 on the right. The total height on the right is 7 meters. So if I have a 3 there, that means this has to be 4. Okay, I don't need that 7 any longer now. Okay, now I have enough information to find the area. So for the rectangle, the area of that will just be 3 times 4, which is 12. Now for the triangle, so I have my height, which is going to be 4. The base will also be 4, because you can see here, it's the same as this 4. So that'll be 4, that'll be 4 times 4 divided by 2, because base times height divided by 2. So 16 over 2, which is going to be 8. Add the two areas then. So the area of the rectangle plus the area of the triangle. 12 plus 8, that'll be 20 meters squared. Final answer. Okay, we'll do one more like this. So again, I need to split this up. So I'm going to draw a line here. Now, in the rectangle at the bottom, so the width is 5, so that means this one also will be 5. Which means the height of the triangle will be 4. Because 9 take 5 is 4. So for the area of the rectangle, okay, length times width, that'll be 5 times 12, which is going to be 60. Now, for the triangle then, so I can see I have 7 centimeters here, 12 at the bottom, so do 12 take 7, so that means my base is going to be 5 centimeters, because 5 plus 7 is 12. So let's do the base times height divided by 2. So 4 times 5 divided by 2, 20 over 2, so that'll be 10. Now let's add our areas together. So we'll have 60 plus 10, so that'll be 70 centimeters squared. Final answer. Okay, the last shape we'll look at is trapeziums. And with trapeziums, you are given the formula in the logbook, so it's really just a basic substitution question. So all you have to do is add the top length and the bottom length, divide by 2 and multiply your answer by the height. So look at the first one here. We have a top length of 4, bottom length of 6 and the height of 3. So I'll have 4 plus 6 divided by 2, all multiplied then by our height, which is 3. So 4 over 6 will be 10 divided by 2. So that'll be 5 times 3, which would be 15 centimeters squared. For the one on the right then, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn that to the side. Okay, so now it looks like the way it is in the formula book. So I'll have 2 is the top length, 3 is the bottom length, and 3 is the height. So then I'll have 2 plus 3 divided by 2 times 3. So that'll be 5 over 2 times 3. And I'm just going to put that straight into the calculator. And that'll be 7.5 centimeters squared. And that's it. Any questions, please leave in the comments. Thank you.